the huge movie fanatics coming back with Batman Returns. This had one of the greatest opening scenes. I really like the Penguin's parents ditching him with Pee Herman, Paul Rubens as his father, which that kind of made me giggle. And the music in that opening scene is so good, and then when he's following the baby down the river, the Gotham sewer lines, that was like great. The movie starts to radically deteriorate from there.
It's like Alien 3, it opens with so much potential, and then it's like...
Yeah, and like, the concept of the Penguin in the comic books was that he wasn't a bird, he wore a penguin suit, he wore a suit, that's why he was called the Penguin. He was much more of a crime boss.
So he was just a guy in the comics?
Yeah, he was just a guy who was a crime boss that had umbrellas that could shoot, he used as weapons. That was the Penguin. In this, he's Birdman for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's Tim Burton, yeah.
That is definitely Tim Burton, and Tim Burton is definitely the downfall of this. The biggest problem with the movie is Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito isn't bad in the movie, he's quite good as the Penguin, but the Penguin's character is just so atrocious. And the scene where he bites the guy's nose.
And doesn't a stream of blood go...
Yeah, just... And it like continues to. Like it's a really gory scene.
Is it still going on?
Yeah. That guy never recovered.
It's still continuing.
But like Ebert or Siskel and Ebert, I watched their review of it because it's on YouTube, and
along with this review,
they both comment on how they're like, this movie should be R. When the penguin bites the nose, that's just unforgivable. And I'm like, they're going a little overboard, but you know they're kind of right. Like that scene is, there's no purpose to that scene. This guy is supposed to be the guy campaigning for mayor or district attorney or something.
Mayor.
Yeah. And like that, like he's gonna recover from that. Like this dude has the best PR I've ever seen. Like,
yeah, well.
I don't know. What works really well here though is the Catwoman. Catwoman is great. Michelle Pfeiffer, awesome. Also completely butchers the story of Catwoman, but you know, I'll forgive it. It's a movie. It's a different medium.
It's only a movie.
It's only a movie. And unlike the Penguin's backstory, which was kind of just goofy, Catwoman's backstory, where it's equally as goofy. She's bit to life by cats.
Oh, God.
Which is goofy. But you know what? She was awesome as Catwoman. Like, so awesome that I'm like, this is great. I'll watch her as Catwoman any day. And I was so excited that there was going to be a Catwoman spin-off, and she was going to be in it, and then she wasn't, and then it was Halle Berry, and that was a bad thing. Another thing I want to comment on is Christopher Walken as sort of like the third villain in the movie and sort of the mastermind behind the three. And I really kind of liked his addition as Maxwell Schreck.
Was he made up for the movie?
Yeah, it was. The original script had him as a district attorney, Harvey Dent, and the Penguin was supposed to spray him with acid and turn him into Two-Face. But for whatever reason, Burton said no, there's nothing interesting about Two-Face, so they struck him from the script and then canned Billy Dee, which is really unfortunate. It would have had that tie to the first movie. Yeah. This one is the direct sequel to the first movie, and references Vicky Vale discovering the Batcave and whatnot. And it's interesting how the Batman movies, each second one the director did it as a direct sequel to the previous movie, but then the third one didn't really have any connectivity.
Another change.
We're gonna have a discussion about that. So, Batman Returns. The humor in this movie is so lousy. Like when exactly, it is just. It destroys and ruins the movie, yet I feel that that's what Tim Burton wanted to do. Like, that's the humor that interests him.
Was he going through a divorce? Was he going through a divorce during the making of this? That's what you get?
I don't know. It's so dark, and it's so stupid, and the humor is so infantile. Like, it's really bad. I'm going to give the movie 1.5. I'm probably being a little harsh on it, but I don't care. The production value of the movie is amazing, though, I will say. The production value is awesome. Yeah. It almost looks better than the first movie. In a lot of cases, it does look better because of the whole winter aspect of Gotham.
I hated that being in the summer going to see a winter movie, but if you watch it during the winter,
I tend to.
Yeah, well, that's what I do too, because that's maybe we'll get into that someday. I think we both, just by chance, tend to watch movies depending on what the season. But yeah, I'm sorry. Were you going to say more?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. I'm probably going to go 2 because the weaknesses I agree with are completely lame. I think the Penguin, I think you could feel it in the theater, whereas like everyone hated the Penguin and was so disgusted, or at least that's what I could think I felt, was so disgusted by the Penguin. When he was eating that fish thing, when he was just completely...
you have to give it to DeVito. He went for his all, but his all was not the right way to go.
Yeah, the Penguin character was such a... I mean, you just hate it. I just hate it. I think when I commented on the Batman Returns, Batman being the best, I forgot that they changed his chest. They made it almost look... They instead of... I like the chest from the first one. They made it a weird, almost
like
robotic.
It looked like RoboCop.
Robo muscles or something. So I'm going to say that I like everything about the first, everything about the best Batman is the first outfit. But if you would have had the cowl that he had in the second one on that one, that would have been awesome. I love how Batman looks. I don't really like the RoboCop chest, but I like the new cowl that is a little bit turnable in a way. And what?
It was kind of funny when he, like the helmet, the cowl is supposed to basically like protect his head and neck from injury. Like
he rips it off.
And he's just like, Selina, it's me. Like I'm just like, you know, that probably wouldn't do all that much to protect him.
I didn't think it was to protect him.
That's the idea.
That's what you did.
Yeah, that's what I think it's supposed to be. Anyway.
So I don't have too much to say about it. I think that the Penguin completely ruined the movie. This is the beginning of the famous. At the time, I thought, because I was so used to the one bad guy, just the one bad guy, and at the time I thought they were trying to do way too much. Like they're trying to make two villains. I mean, Catwoman's, I don't know what she is, a villain / whatever, sympathetic, whatever what you call her. I think that movies have done that even worse since, so looking at Batman Returns is not as bad as some things that have come after. Like, anyway, we'll review that stuff later, next. But, you know, so in retrospect, I think they do pull it off, but the Penguin's so awful. And like you said, I love Christopher Walken in the movie. Let's make a mayor like Max Schreck.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I was trying to think of some of the lines because I was going to do some of my famous impersonations, but I can't think of anything he says.
I can't really either.
I can't do Christopher Walken very well anyway. So, but he's just, he was like probably the favorite. For me, probably my favorite character in the movie. It's like every time Max Schreck is like, I can't remember any freaking lines. I want to say a line, but that's all I can remember is let's make a mayor, but that's no good.
Yeah, he was great in the movie. I do want to comment on this. In every Batman sequel, the Batmobile gets destroyed. Like when I'm just talking about the sequels with the director, with each director.
Yeah, the second one of each director.
Yeah,
that's
this
interesting.
The Batmobile, boom, explodes.
Boom.
And Penguin takes control of it in that really obnoxious scene.
God damn! Every scene. Don't you love when the Batmobile splits off and then the tires are just to fit through a... Gosh, I might have a narrow alley. I better build this little...
just in case.
Just in case there's a narrow alley. Or
this is also the start of Batman being really convenient. Like, he thinks of everything apparently. But we'll get to the skates. Later. But anyway.
But yeah, I don't have much to say. I like Christopher Walken, and again, the production design is great. I swear to God, Tim Burton was going through a divorce or something, because the movie's so mad. It's so mad, and it's just so, you know. And I think if you watch the making of, they said, okay, Batman, the first one was this, and the second one was just let Tim Burton. I think that the only reason he did it is because he was able to do what he wanted to do, which of course is bad.
When you're not a fan of the comics, like,
what's the point of
why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Why not? I know there are plenty of filmmakers in Hollywood who would jumped at a chance to make a Batman movie who are actual fans of the comic books and would love to give the Penguin or Catwoman their just due.
Yeah.
And you see that a little bit in like the sequels that are coming up.
That's all I'm going to say. Two
Yeah.
stars just because the production design is and the music continues to be great. Some of the set pieces with was in one of the first trailers, or one of the trailers of when Catwoman when they jump down and they're fighting on the rooftop. I really like how he shot and some of the set pieces were cut, like some of that stuff. I really like how it looks. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
And that's the early '90s when I think film stock looked really good and still looked like film. So
Yeah.
I think 2 stars for the good things about it, which are basically
Production.
how it looks.
Yeah. Production is great. Catwoman's costume is great.
Catwoman's sexy, pretty damn sexy, and there you go. Catch you later.